Hello everyone. Hope everything is going well for you. I thought we'll have another maybe 30 minutes of live talk and see if we can share things and make the quality of the day maybe a bit better. So if you're out there, just say hello and tell me where you're tuning in, and let's start the chat. So I guess this is not the right time, as I'm searching to find what are the best times. I'm trying to figure out all the bugs in the system as far as the buffering and all that. So for a while I'll be having live talks here and there just to check the system. So in that way we can also find out what are the worst times for live talk. How is everybody's time scheduled? It's helpful to know when we can get the most out of every live talk. I wonder what it means when it says YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience buffering. I wonder how I can put more video to stop this buffering business. So we're learning as we go, and that's perhaps why I do these quite often these days, to figure out the system for a smoother and better live streaming eventually. Excalibur. Yes. I know I'm worried about your hair. That's why that's why I'm doing this quite often, to figure out how I can save people from pulling their hair, including myself. So now I'm going to, after I stop this, to search and find out how this real sentence means and how I can avoid it. So YouTube is not receiving enough video. I wonder what that means. To maintain smooth streaming. As such, okay, YouTube is not receiving enough video. Well, we'll fix that up. So is it still buffering for you, X? Okay. Well, now I'm searching on, as I mentioned, one of the reasons I come often these days is because I want to know different problems and then search them on the internet and fix them. Because when I call up on YouTube and so on, they sometimes answer quite quickly, but not much help, because I guess they can't know everything that is going on from people's systems and so on. So now I'm searching on the web as far as the how to fix YouTube is not receiving enough video thingy. So I'm reading it. So I wonder, what is it, what are you, you're available at this time, are you not working? More than adequate speed. Okay, it's interesting thing I just noticed here. One caller says, one person who has the same problem as mine on live streaming, he or she says, I have new fiber broadband installed and would like to make the most out of my speeds. I have 20 megabytes upload and 80 megabytes download, bitrate speed I believe that is, and would like to stream at 1080 and 60 FPS. I'm using OBS like I do to stream, but about 5 minutes into the stream I always receive the message above. I have more than adequate speed for streaming, and my PC has plenty of CPU using, and I am 4.8 gigahertz. What's going on? Aha, that's exactly, perhaps my answer would be here. Perhaps you need to increase your bitrate. Well, that much I know. This is the recommended bitrate range, 4500 to 9000. Your keyframe frequency should be set at 2 seconds. I already had my bitrate at 9000 and the keyframe set to 2 seconds, still getting the same error. First you tell him raise the bitrate, then you tell him lower it. Clearly you don't know what you're talking about. The issue is obviously to do with Google servers, and telling someone you don't have the same issues is pretty much the same thing as giving them the finger. But that seems to be the level of support these days from all the big companies. Look to blame everyone and everything else before assuming any responsibility. Thanks for not solving this issue, which I also have, and not because of bitrate, system, stream key, or URLs. Aha, that was cool. I'm also seeing same issue. If I broadcast at lower bitrate, 2000 kp whatever, and low resolution, then it works fine. Yeah, that's what I did too. But I broadcast in 1080 over 30 fps, 6000 kbps, then YouTube complains not enough video. YouTube live streaming is wastage of time for broadcasting 1080 video. I'm switching to something else. Yeah, maybe that's what I should do. I believe that 6000 kbs bitrate is too high for that. Try 35. Okay, anyhow, looks like that this is not a problem from my end. So X, you and I both should let go our hair, because pulling it doesn't help apparently, because I can see a green line here, right here on my screen, meaning the stream health is pretty good, excellent, as good as it gets, but still I have that problem. The only thing is that when I upload it, there is no lagging because it's just all fixed up. So that was a good thing for me to figure out. I'm going to try something here. I don't know if you're still with us there or not, but I wouldn't blame you if you're not here, because there's nothing happening. I'm just testing the system. So we'll bring the bitrate here to 500, let's say 600. And suffer, let's see, we can put that to 56 or 48. Let's see if that does it. X says when you stream it, the content must be transmitted in real time. Yeah, and that's why, yeah, of course, yes, I understand. And that's what I'm trying to fix here. Now, is it any better right now? I just changed the bit rates a little bit. Is it any better at all? It's still green here, which is demanding on your bandwidth when you upload it. It takes its sweet time to transmit the content. Yes, yes, yes. I agree. And but what I was just reading right now on internet was that the people who have tremendously better, faster, more memory equipment with, you know, amazing capabilities, they still get the same thing that I'm getting. So it seems to me it's not really because I don't have enough bandwidth or whatever technical issues I may have. One of them was commenting that it is actually the Google servers that somehow they're not. But again, it's hard to believe, because I think my internet provider here has a limitation of 1 megabyte of bitrate for upload, where a few buildings away they're using a different provider, which is a cable system, cable company, and mine is a telephone company, which they have these high-speed systems, DSL and all that, but apparently the cable technology is working better, at least in this area. So I may have to switch eventually. Yes, yes, X. I just did bring the I brought the video bitrate from 1080, which was when I started. Now it's at 600. Like the first streaming I did like a week ago or so, it was at regular. Then I brought it down, lower, lower, lower. So eventually when I brought it at 680, but I never used the video. I just put it there so it won't lag. And then audio bitrate was 160, and I brought it down to 48. I wonder if you, or if I could try it a little bit even lower if it's not good yet. Just tell me if it's still not good and lags, then I'll bring the audio bitrate lower than 48 and leave the video bitrate at 600, because it's already low and I'm not using it anyhow. Because the picture doesn't have a problem, it's just a still picture. What do you think? So now it's not cutting. Now tell me, just maybe for 1 minute, check it out. If it's not cutting, that means 48 is good. Otherwise, I can bring it lower. And I appreciate you taking the time and trying to help me out here. I don't know if you're busy doing your work or whatnot, but if you're not, if you're busy, just go on and do your thing. I'll figure it out myself. But if you're free on time, yeah, well, maybe you can stay another few minutes. Oh no, it's cutting again. Okay, so it's cutting again. So let me reduce it again. What do you think? It's okay. I just came home and the notification popped. Okay, so if you have time, great. But if you just wanted to let go and go do your things, whatever you do when you come home, by all means, I just don't want to keep you there, because right now we really don't have anything. However, if you stick around and you were comfortable to help me out with this, then after that, if you have any questions, I'll stay around for as long as you want. Little bribing there. So I'm going to see if I can reduce it further, and I think I'll leave the video the way it is. Okay, good, thank you. So I think the video is okay, so I'm going to leave the video because I'm not using the video in order to help the lagging to stop, because if I put the video, it probably lags much worse. So I'm going to reduce the bitrate for voice, for audio, from 48 to 20. That's the lowest as it goes. So now we're starting from way down where we cannot go any lower. So check it out and see if that is of any use. Yes, I did. I did reduce the bitrate to deepest of the hell, and it doesn't go any further down than 20. So we are. I just did that a few seconds before you put your comment there. So now we are at 20. Just give it a minute and see if while I'm talking it comes through okay. And I don't see any lagging here on my screen, because I usually see that little halo circle that is turning and shows me that it's lagging, but I haven't seen it since I've put it 20. So let's see if it's the same at the other end where you are. And if it is, we may have done something helpful. Oh, I see it again. Son of a gun. Oh, it went back. So I wonder if that means it's lagging, or is it just because I moved the screen a little up and down to see if you have written something here. So no, it's the lag. Scrolling here doesn't affect anything. Okay, so it is still lagging since we changed it to 20. You still see it lag. The voice is cutting off. Sadly, yes. Okay, that's very amazing, because all the lines here indicating green, which is the best, supposedly to be the best quality. X says it's worse than my you're funny. You have a good sense of humor. That sense of humor should help you to get over that breakup pain. At least you should have gotten over it in 2015 much easier, because that sense of humor means you're pretty smart and you're not looking at things in a dogmatic or absolute way, and you're willing to see it and laugh at it. So I think you'll be okay no matter what you went through or what you're going through. But anyhow, as soon as we get this you're welcome. As soon as we get this little better figured out, I'm going to dedicate at least half an hour to see if you have anything that you want to discuss. But again, a little bribing there, I understand. But let me see. I'll pull one more trick. First of all, it looks like I'm offline now. After all that, it's the whole thing is off. Can you? Now it's red. So it really has nothing to do with what we're doing. Looks like. It seems to me that no. Did you hear everything I said? Or when it was offline, it was offline there as well. Or is it just fooling me here? So I'm gonna do one more silly thing, which I don't know what I'm gonna be doing it for, but I'm gonna actually bring the audio, the video bitrate to ridiculously low number, like I don't know, 100. Let's see what happens there. The reason I do that because I want to see if it helps the audio bitrate, like if it's gonna help the audio quality. So so when it's offline here, it's offline. You know what I'm really totally baffled is that when it's showing me a red line here on YouTube end, when I look at OBS, it shows me green, as if it's perfect. It's totally... Now it's red here, and it's yellow there. Red at the... Okay, I really don't know what's going on here. I gotta get some answers from YouTube to why is this doing this. Okay, listen, we're gonna stop fiddling around with this. Now it's green line. I don't know what that means, but I'm gonna see if we could have a conversation based on what your need may be or what you would be interested. So go ahead if you like. I'll be here until you're okay as far as whatever it is that you wanted to discuss is discussed. Hi, Al. You used the name of this famous actor, Al Pacino. I wonder if that is your name or just a nickname. Al says, ha 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 ha, a nickname. I was wondering whether you would be kind enough to share some advice about my situation. Sure, by all means. I'm still waiting for Excalibur to put her question first, as we've been fiddling around with the bitrate here to fix this lagging business of the live streaming. She's been so patient and helping me out, so I would like to see if she has any question. I would address hers, but if she doesn't in a few seconds, so well, I'll attend to yours and wait for hers. But you go ahead, Al, and write your question by all means. Well, I don't see any questions here, guys. What happened to you guys? Are you guys writing a book by any chance, or, or simply it's not coming through, or it's not finished yet? So, either way, I'm here, sipping on my cranberry and hot water tea. Excalibur says, off-topic note, Assam is a male name. Ah. Oh, okay. How did that come to your mind? What happened there, Excalibur? You really went off tangent so far. Assam is a male name, but we don't have him here today. Yeah? Or is that your name instead of Excalibur? But I thought Excalibur is Brenda. Or am I confused totally? So, in the meantime, while I wait for your answer, X, so in the meantime, while I wait for your answer, Excalibur, or Brenda, or Assam, totally confused now. Who is who? I'm going to attend to Excalibur says Assam is my name. Oh, okay, Assam is your name. Okay, good. Now I'm getting it. And I noticed yesterday you said she a few times. Oh, because this picture of yours here looks like some lady, so small, but it looks like some kind of a picture of a woman. Unfortunately, I can't see it so well because it's so small in this screen. So anyhow, my apologies to have you mixed up with some other subscriber here, and you know. So now we know. So Assam is you. Excalibur equal Assam. Like the T. There we go. All that time I thought I'm talking to a lady. Now, let's see what Al Pacino has written here, because while... Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you, X. I appreciate that, because it's very hard to know who I'm talking to here. It's all names and I don't know who is who, man, woman, so I apologize if it was mixed up. So now let me see what Al Pacino has put in here. Al Pacino says, it's in regards to a breakup I have had. I was in a very stressful situation in my life at the time. I was with her and I unconsciously came out as anger and frustration about the relationship. Okay. And Al Pacino continues, my father was abusing me, but I was not aware of what emotional and verbal abuse really was. I was his only employee. Oh, you were working for your father then, in his restaurant. Okay. He's a narcissist and had a rough childhood, but he brought me... Okay. We will wait for the rest of it, as I'm sure it's being typed in. them still. Oh, there is some more. Let me read it. Let me fix this here. Okay. So he says he brought me down and would abuse me and not let me leave his grasp. It was a long distance relationship and I just wanted to be free and live my life and wanted to move to France to live with her. Okay, so far so good. I'm waiting for the rest eagerly. All right, and it says, I'm having a lot of trouble moving beyond this relationship. She was a spiritual and wise person. If only I had ever known a little bit of what I know now, then I would have been able to salvage it. Okay, just 1 second. The fact that you should focus on right now is that you're thinking, you're sad and upset or somehow concerned because you think this was a chance of lifetime. And you think that this will never come again. And that's what is really concerning you, making you feel like that's it. There's no other life. There's no other person like that. And what you've learned, you wish you knew it then, and you're thinking now that you know it is not going to be helpful to your future, or it is only good what you know now if you knew it then. Something like that. Now let's see what else is here. You also continued, it's very painful knowing how ignorant I was. I was not in a good place and was going through depression at the time, and this breakup made it worse. That's right, chance of lifetime and will never come again. You're right. That's exactly how I feel. Yeah. Obviously you feel that way because when you compare to whatever that you ever experienced or been exposed to or had a chance to experience in your life, that's the only example that you have that was something special to you, something that you really appreciated, because there's nothing else for you to compare. But just because there's nothing else to compare up to now, that doesn't mean that this was an opportunity of a lifetime. This was an opportunity in the life that you've had so far. But it's not an opportunity of the lifetime, because you can only know that when it's time at the deathbed. Then you'd say, oh, looking back, that was the opportunity of lifetime. But right now, you're assuming that that was an opportunity of the lifetime. But you haven't seen the rest of the movie. You don't know what's going to be happening, what's the next screen is going to be. What the artist, what the actor and the actress in the next scene will be seeing, experiencing. You know? It's like if you're, let's say, stranded in an island and you see a boat passing by And you try to get the attention of the boat as much as you can to come and save you, and they don't notice you. And you say, oh God, there will never be that was the only chance we had. Well, it's not true. Because before that chance came along, you thought there is no chance. You said, oh, we'll die here. There is no boat. Nothing will pass by here. We'll never see. But there was one. Now that you missed that one or didn't get their attention, you think, oh, that was the only chance. But how do you know? Just like you didn't know that will appear, there will be another ones that will appear. But you haven't seen it. And because you haven't seen it and you don't know, you think it will never happen. These are the games that your mind, negative mind, plays. But that doesn't mean it's true. So, behold, my friend, understand that life is not over. From what you have experienced, that anomaly, that experience was the best one. But there is nothing else for you to compare. When you pass through many other years and experience many other opportunities, then you can say really which one was the best. And even then, it'll be hard. Because at the time you experienced this one that you just told me about, you were at a different age and different wisdom level and understanding level. And when you will experience the next one and the next one, you will be more knowledgeable, more experienced. So you will not see their differences with you as significant as this one seemed to be. Because in this one, you were so inexperienced. And therefore, her wisdom seemed like, wow. But when you are experienced yourself, such same wisdom to you will not be wow, will be oh, nice. It's like if you're in grade 4 and a math teacher of grade 12 comes and starts doing grade 12 math, you'll be nuts. Wow, this teacher is amazing. Look at the formulas that he uses. Look at how he gets the answers. And you go nuts. You say, wow, he's a genius. And I'm so impressed. But when you're at grade 12 or maybe in second year university and you do look at the math stuff that the same teacher or same caliber teacher would be talking about, you already know beyond that. You'll say, oh yeah, well, he's okay. So you see, that's how you should look at it. Therefore, you should not lose hope that there will never be something like that. Well, to what your level was, that was wow, which is good, and you experience, you learn things. That's great, but that's all. It's not like chance of a lifetime and all that. None of that shit, you know? You know, if you're hungry and food is being distributed and it doesn't get to you, you say, oh my goodness, or you just get a bite of it. You say, oh my goodness, it was the most delicious food I've ever had. But if you just came out of the restaurant and had a 5-course meal and you were just all filled up and enjoyed the best meal you had in a long time, and then you see the same sandwich that you had a bite of the other time that you were so hungry there, you wouldn't even pay attention to it. So, oh yeah, okay, fine, great. So that's really it is. It's all relative, nothing absolute in there. So I hope that will help you to know that there's a lot better things on the way, regardless if you see them, you're aware of them, or you know about them or not. They are on the way anyhow, because this life is a journey. And on the journey, you never know what's going to come out. Just be wise and alert to dodge the shittiest stuff and experience and learn from the good stuff. That's your responsibility. Nothing else. Don't worry about the rest of it. The rest of it will be presented to you, will be provided by the nature, by the flow of the journey, by the universe. Now, hope that answered your question a little bit. So he says, thank you. I literally cannot stop thinking about her and the opportunity that I had there. I think we just discussed that one. I think you said that before. And now you said, I had everything I had ever dreamed. Yeah, you had everything that you ever dreamed, but your dream was limited to that age of yours. You will have different dreams, and none of these dreams would be as significant as they seem to be now. The countryside, our own little house, sunshine. Yeah, these are all wonderful things, but you can always create it again. How can I stop thinking about her almost 24/7? Really appreciate your wisdom. Well, you stop thinking about her by focusing on what is out there in the future, and not shrink the whole experience of this life journey to one relationship, one woman, one period of your life. And compared to what you were going through, when you were going through, and what you were receiving, the treatment from your dad at the time, compared to that, then the girl and the whole opportunity of being with her and being in France and all that, what you just said, would have seemed wow. But when you build something out of yourself, accomplish something, and become secure in your own way, then small little changes from a terrible situation that you might be in will not attract you, because you already have made a good situation for yourself. And then you would expect more, and these things will not seem so amazingly wonderful to you, because you would expect more, because you already brought yourself to a certain level that you seem to be safe and comfortable, and you're not putting up with narcissistic behavior of anybody, or any kind of a unpleasant thing going on in your life. So go focus on building your life, build something out of yourself that you'll be proud of, make accomplishments happen. Then you will see yourself in a different light. Then your expectation will change, and you won't be so impressed so easily with everything that you see seemingly better than yourself. Hope that will help you out a little bit. And Excalibur Assam says, Mehran, I notice you spent some time in the United States and then settled for Canada. I'm in a similar situation, and I'm curious, what made you go for Canada over the US? Well, that's a little ancient history, but so since we don't have anything else to do right now, and we're trying to see how the system works. By the way, there's no lagging, is there, Sam? Looks like it's been okay lately. But anyhow, the answer to your question is, well, I was born and raised in Persia, in Iran, and when I was not quite 18, my dad sent me to university in United States. So when I got my degree, then I went back for a short while, and then I emigrated to Canada 37 years ago. And having lived in the United States with all its wonderful diverse type of people and mentality and approach in life, and good or bad is everywhere, United States is pretty much where I grew up. In that age was very important. So I really enjoyed my experience in university and my friends in the United States, and it's just a beautiful experience. Nothing bad to say about America. I was, just looking at it from that age of point of view, age of a, person 17, 18 years old, going to university, and everything was hunky-dory, because, I was in one of the best schools, and my father was paying my way, and if I would work in a gas station or anywhere else, it would be for extra pocket money. So it was a great school, great friends, and activities in tennis, horseback riding, doing my studies, and regular North American university life. But having seen Canada and its approach to its humanity and observant of everybody's rights by the government. I mean, I'm not talking about the people in America. People in America are just as sweet as anyone else anywhere, and just as unreasonable as anybody else anywhere in the world. But in the way the government conducts itself in Canada is superior, in my opinion, to United States. There are no issues here as far as differences in where you come from, what language you speak, what religion you have. There's no issues here. Canada is a very civilized country. I love Canada. I am Canadian. I'm proud of it, not because of geographically separating myself from other parts, because I believe we're all one people and one earth. Regardless of where we live, we're all the same. But now that we're talking about how business or things are conducted in one country versus the other, Canada is superior in many ways to United States system of government, or at least the quality of approach and respect to human rights and everything else. So I'm proud of being Canadian, and I love Canada. So there's nothing wrong with the United States once they have their act together and just be, you know, as what they were set out to be, as one of the beacons of democracy and fairness and human rights. That's how United States used to be. But now it's a little different. So we hope that it will all be just as glorious as it once used to be. And however, we should focus that people are people everywhere. Everybody is wonderful, and everybody should focus on helping each other and making a wonderful world out of this short journey of life that we're all in it. So we're all in it together. So Al Pacino says no lagging or very minimal. Oh, that's good. So Excalibur, I hope that gave you enough information about Canada in compare to other places, specifically in today's our southern neighbor. Appy says, hi, it's 6:54 right now. Good to hear you in this morning. Good morning, Mehran. Good morning, Appy. Good to see you. But I think Appy says, if I see you in the video, it would be awesome. Awesome day. As I love your laugh. Thank you, Appy. But we have been trying to see what we can do to make this experience better. But with Excalibur, we tried going up and down with the bit rates and figuring out why it's lagging, and I searched it on the internet, and it seems to me that this business of lagging really doesn't have much to do with my end, as people with much better equipment and faster, super fast speed of, you know, bit rates and all that are still experiencing the same thing. So they think it's Google's servers. So I'm not sure really if that's true or not, but you know, so that's why I'm not using the camera, because that is going to distort the whole broadcast even worse. Excalibur is also the polite people. Yeah. Yeah. So guys, if you have any questions, throw it at me. I think from the experience that we had, we tried with Excalibur to see what's wrong with the system. We know that there's really not much wrong from this end, and I should try to get some questions answered by YouTube directly, because we played with the bit rates up and down, and we brought it as low as we could. It still had lagging, but right now somehow it's been okay for the past half an hour. Happy says, it's okay, at least you're helping us, and that's wonderful. Oh, my pleasure, Happy. Yeah, I try to, once I get the live streaming really much better quality, or at least wouldn't cause you guys to pull your hair, as Assam put it. And then Assam, that's another reason that I thought you're a lady, because pulling hair usually associates that with a expression that mostly I heard from well, I guess everybody uses that, but I don't know, somehow with the picture and all that. So that was the misunderstanding. So today is much better, Excalibur says. And then the last two, I didn't suffer and definitely didn't pull my hair. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Yeah, maybe the fact that we reduced the bitrate so drastically, especially on the video end, so even though there's nothing like the camera is closed, but still probably the system was trying to transmit what it wasn't seeing. So I don't know, I'm just guessing. Brian says, Mehran, good evening. Good evening, Brian. I have a question. Brian says, okay, I'm in a process of getting divorced. Congratulations. I'm just kidding. And my ex was quick to send me the separation paperwork. Oh, okay. Let's see. Paperwork 7 days after we broke up. Wow. But now 6 months later, she okay, I'm waiting for the rest. And so what was I saying? Sorry. Abhi, remind me, where are you in the world? And if you guys don't mind, do drop me a line. Just let me know where you are in the world and what age category, and if you're a gentleman or a lady. That will at least get us to know each other a little bit more. Okay, now Brian continues. And now 6 months later, still isn't signed and returned the required paperwork to file for divorce. Could this be a sign of regret? It's so confusing. What is your take? Okay. Well, you know what, Brian? What do you feel about it all? You broke up, right? You guys broke up. And then she wanted to divorce. All right? We can have several scenarios out of it. One is that still taking time, she's thinking it over, she's trying to find out what she can get from you or not. I don't know she is how she is, so I'm just spitballing here. There's no evidence of what I'm saying. So I don't want to make you more angry or subdue you or nothing. Just responding to your question from what little I know from your situation. And so she could be lingered for that, or she may not have the money to go through the legal system. Maybe she's hanging on to that. Or maybe, as you said, she feels like, there's nothing out there. Or maybe she was, maybe, I don't know, involved with somebody, and 6 months later saw that the guy is not what she thought, or the grass is not greener on the other side of the fence. And she feels like, what did I do? Or the divisions and conflicts that you guys had after 6 months is not really that important to her, and she maybe has realized living on her own maybe is more challenging than she thought, and it was better when you guys were together. Or maybe she has no plan of coming back and putting it back together at all. It's just that she hasn't gotten around to it, or she's just left it to see. Maybe she's afraid if she goes through it, then what? All that is in her mind, but there's no way I can tell really exactly what she's thinking of. However, why don't you have a chat with her? What is it that you want, instead of thinking what she wants and let her to be the driver? What is it that you want for your life? You know, Brian, again, I don't know how old you are. He said India, and he is 22 years old. And you're from Washington, but I don't know how old you are. So you figure out, first of all, do you have children or not? If you have children, that's a different story. But the whole idea of this is that it doesn't matter if she regrets or not. Why does she regret? Because, or why did she leave? These are important questions. But the questions are not really what happened that she left and she didn't like something, or you guys had arguments or difference. That's not the question. Or she's regretting it because she forgot how it was and she misses you and other memories and all that. Again, that's not what I'm talking about. She and you both have to know, what is it that brings divisions and conflicts? What are the consciousnesses? How are they put together? What are the contents of your consciousnesses? To understand that these sort of things are normal when it happens between two people, when they don't understand what are the elements in play in a relationship as far as the thoughts and consciousness, fear, ego, and desire and all that is concerned. If they don't really have no clue about these things, well, they'll always think that there was something wrong with the other person. The relationship wasn't good, it wasn't meeting their expectations. Then afterwards they regret, they forget, they miss, but they still don't know why it happened and what they can do so it won't happen. So the idea is not that for you to figure out what she wants, because what she wants, she had. And it could end up turning out to be the same if neither one of you really focus together to understand what is consciousness, what is thoughts, what is the role of fear, desire, and ego, and all that in this breakup and in a relationship, and why things turned out the way it turned out, and what is it that she's expecting, because how is it that she sees the world the way she sees? What is her understanding of this life? What is your understanding of this life? What is her order? What is her mechanical process? Why suddenly she wanted to change if she hasn't bonded with you on a consciousness level, and she ended up maybe being infatuated or thinking that there's some other guy who's paying attention to her, or maybe there is nobody, I'm just spitballing here, that she was attracted to someone and the things weren't as she wanted it to be at home or in her life, and blamed it on the relationship or on you rather than on what she hasn't accomplished and that she should have, and bringing happiness to herself by herself instead of expecting you to bring it or the relationship to bring it. All that maybe made her suddenly focus or pay attention to some asshole who's paying attention to her, and then thinking, oh, maybe it'll be better if I just go with that guy. If that was the case. I'm not saying it is. I'm just, again, just making assumptions because I don't know really what's going on. So now, if that was the case, she's gone there and found out, gee, that's really not it either. Because it will never be it until she figures it out for herself, what life is all about, why she's acting, reacting the way she does, what her expectations and objectives is or should be in life. Until she understands that, she'll be jumping from this to that and breaks up, and then maybe regrets or goes with somebody else, and then it comes back or changes to another person. This will continuously continue. So you got to focus on what is it that you want. What is it that you want, not just what she wants. You know, that's very important for you to know. So let's see, I have some response here. Let me read and see what. So now we have Excalibur saying the small picture is actually masked guitar player. Oh, I see. With long hair. Haha, long hair. How so? Because, you know, if you were about pulling your hair, it's long hair. No worries about the confusion. I like the frequency of live streams you're doing. I initially thought it's just the weekend. Yeah, but I think why not? We can help as many people as we can, and it also promotes the channel. So it could be, I always try to make it maybe 30 minutes, and all suddenly we go over an hour, and that means we're all having a good time, and that's good. So Brian says, would you ever take someone back who has put you in such a predicament? I feel I absolutely would not. Oh, and I'm 28 years old with no children. Aha, okay. So refer back to what I said about understanding life and what she wants and what she doesn't want and all that, because that was the answer of your question. Not knowing exactly what the details are and who she is and what she wants and where she is in her life and her education or work or plans or whatever it is. But you got to focus on the fact that you're 28 years old, you're still very young, and you probably got married too early anyhow. That's why it's not working for neither one of you, because both of you probably got married because you wanted to be more than what you are and get that kind of echelon in the society that I'm married, I'm a husband now, and she will feeling that she's a wife, and or maybe it was all physical attractions and all the dreams and the things that you made rather than really focusing on what things could be involved and what things to expect. So now you feel disappointed, but there's no disappointment. It was an experience and its duration is over and you've learned a lot, both of you. And both of you can wish each other well and go about your business. Because really one of the worst things in life is to commit your life to a relationship and then not really be sure if it's ever going to be improving and getting solid, or is always going to be some kind of a resonance in it and kind of a shake-up or loose foundation for one reason or another, because of not understanding what this psyche is all about and only focusing on the material things out there in order to make life palatable and happy and successful and so on. So there will always continuously happen the same thing. If you guys can get over that, then great, get back together if you want to. If you think not, well then, don't ask me what would I do, because you're not me and I'm not you. I may have a certain policies for certain reasons or certain, I don't know, understanding of what I want or what I prefer, how I'm put together. You may not. So I don't want to give you any kind of a advice based on what I would do, because that's not really, the best way. I don't want you to do something because somebody else that you believe or respect or, you ask for advice tells you that he would do or she would do. Just got to figure it out by yourself based on the stuff that I said about, in general, about this whole thing. Well, you can always think that if someone was with you and suddenly breaks up and 7 days later there's a divorce paper coming, it's either hasty decision maker or is totally unfair, or maybe not wise to be so quick in all those actions, or maybe she was really angry. Either way, it seems to me that she's not taken time to resolve things or figure out things, why things happen, and go with mutual agreements to sever a relationship or continue a relationship. She just goes on a deep handle and just goes off the deep handle and does what she wants to do, or vice versa. What the husband wants to do also should be figured out together as a cooperating effort, and reasonably discuss things to figure out why and what are the chances to make it together or not. Put all those and then decide and go on. There's no war here. Everybody's trying to use these sort of relationship as a weapon to show the other one, oh, I am in control, I'm better than you, I sever it, I go somewhere else. Oh, okay, bye-bye. So there's so many wonderful women out there, and there's no sense for you to suck up to someone who doesn't want to like you or doesn't want to be with you and is so quick and eager to go and divorce. But it all depends on how both of you feel, and in this case that you're asking me, depends on how you feel about her and wanting to be with her or not, and how you feel about you and your own level of interest towards her. Obviously there must have been both of you not liking each other as much as you once did, but you got to figure out what it is that you want in life and then make your decision on that basis. Now Al Pacino says London. All right, 21-year-old. Okay, I'm off to bed as it's 1:30 a.m. over here. Thank you so much for your advice, Mehran. I appreciate it so much. I hope to see you all soon. I hope your situation comes out best, Abhi. Oh, I see. Abhi, and well, I appreciate that, Al Pacino, to be here. Good night to you as well. Thanks for being here and sharing with us your time. And don't forget, guys, to do visit my site, mindthatseekstruth.com. Do click on the books, read the chapter, sample chapter, that if you click on the book, it will open page by page and gives you a sample chapter to read and to see what the book's all about, and check its table of contents and decide if it's something good for you, which I highly recommend, Me, My Psyche, and I. And if you have transient thoughts in your head constantly, then of course definitely recommend Me, Transient Thoughts and Me. And they're all in form of print books and ebooks, and ebooks are very, very inexpensive. Go get one and have it as a reference, and that will help the channel. At the same time, it will help you to learn more about yourself, how your psyche works, which is the machine that you're using every day, but you don't know as much as you should know about it, how it functions. And that's the main reason why we act, behave, feel, and react the way we do in our day-to-day negotiation of life. And sometimes we are freaked out or dazzled or don't know what the heck is going on, because we don't know what the heck is going on with us in our psyche. So these books are written for that, and I'm sure you will enjoy it. So I've made it very, very special price for everybody to be able to afford it. From Indian rupees to any other currency, it would not be a burden, as it will be just the cost of a couple of tea or coffees. Now that's my plug for the books. Now let's get on with the rest of this stuff, which we have here. Prince says, hello, Master. Hello, Prince. And Excalibur says, good night, Pacino. You'll be okay. Yeah, of course. Pacino will be fine. Brian says, Mehran, you have absolutely hit the nail on the head. The demise of the relationship came when a third party got involved and kept whispering sweet nothing to her. I absolutely appreciate your take and appreciate all that you do. I am sure everyone here does too. Well, great. I will have to consider hiring you for my promotional manager, because you're doing such a good job in promoting this channel. Just don't forget, share the videos that you like on your social media. Let the channel to be popular, and maybe even segments of my site, click it and put it on your social media as a link, so people can go and read the sample chapter of the books, and the books available, Me, My Psyche, and I, Transient Thoughts and Me, and the Breakup Pain Handbook. These are all heavy books, 200 pages, 360 pages, and 600 pages, and the printed matter is expensive. It's $100 a piece, but I will sign it and send it, as I've been doing all around the world. However, the ebooks are made to make it really, really reasonably priced and affordable for everybody. So promote it, guys, and let the channel to have some finances to be able to do a little bit more allocation of time and dedication of time, and so at least we could reach more people in different ways. I'm looking forward for some invitations from different countries for speaking engagements, and we will see how that will eventually unfold. Now, we have here Humin, I believe I pronounced it correctly, I hope. My wife passed away. I'm sorry to hear that, Humin. Condolences to you. 6 years ago, he says. It was hard for my son and I understand. Last year, I got a girlfriend, and she was there for me and my children. We were all happy. Okay, all right. And Humin continues, 6 months later, I married her. Ouch. That was a little bit too quick. But then again, you were in a different situation. I guess you really needed her for the children, and also to bring a little bit balance to your own life, which I'm sure you felt really devastated and scared, alone maybe, and that could have been overwhelming, which usually pushes people to go and bond with another a little bit sooner than they may have had to. So 6 months later, I married her, he says. One day, I found her sleeping with my 19-year-old son. Oh, okay. I told her to not stay in the house for a while. I don't know what to feel and I don't know what to do. Well, to be honest with you, it's not as bad as you think. Let me go through it a little bit. Yes, of course, it's terrible. But I don't know enough information. I don't know how old you are, how old she is, how good looking she is, and how, you know, physically she's attractive to you or to a 19-year-old. But you can probably be sure that it wouldn't be your son who initiated it. She probably, I'm just guessing because I don't know enough. So, you know, I'm not saying that's how it is, but I'm just spitballing here. She's an older woman. She probably saw a young man and she maybe felt that she wants to have a, you know, sexual relationship with a young man, and or maybe she's hot enough to attract someone like that, or she just, I'm sure she instigated it, because definitely it's not logical to think that your son would actually hit on your wife. The other way around, the wife who is not the mother of your son and probably was feeling randy and wanted to have some kind of excitement, and she used the bad judgment and did that. But you know, at least you can look at it, it was your son and you love your son. So if your son had a good time, well, good for you. You're not hurt that much. It's not like it was some, but I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying, now that it has happened, let's look at it the best way that you can look at it. However, regardless of what, that's what we just talked about, why you shouldn't be hurt. But the fact that she's done that, that shows poor taste and not a good role model. And I don't know what you've done. You didn't explain what you decided to do. Is it just happened recently? And since I don't know what your hang up is on her, if you think she's hot, that you can't get anything better, if you're physically infatuated with her, but if there's one thing for sure or possible, that if she has allowed this to happen, whether she instigated it or not, or whatever the circumstances was, you can't blame your son, because it doesn't take too much for a 19-year-old to get really excited about some older woman who may have actually looked good or whatever. I don't know how she looks. But the fact that she's allowed this to happen with your son, it tells you that she will allow it to happen with just about anybody if she wants to, if she feels like to. There must be something that she feels she has over you. Maybe she's much younger, or maybe she feels she's really good looking or hot and she deserves this and that and all that bullshit, which is all physical expectations and judgments through the physical appearance of her life, and she's not focusing on what else is in a relationship and what are the other important elements far beyond, far more important than the physical attributes, which is always limited, where the rest of things are not limited. So these are the questions that I don't really know, so I can't further comment on it unless, you know, we would have a possible Skype consultation, that if you choose to go to my site, mindthatseekstruth.com, and click on the Talk to Me for consultation, you'll have different packages and options and times, and you will see what works for you, and you can book it, and then we'll have a Skype consultation, and we will one-on-one discuss this matter. So, I wonder if you guys can hear me, or now I see Excalibur says the buffering, the cutting, where I see all green here and there's no interruption here. It looks a perfect quality. So again, I hope it's not causing too much trouble. Excalibur says, Mehran, there is an option in the stream to enable rewind or something similar. Basically, it enables the listener to rewind a couple minutes back. That would be quite useful in dealing with. Okay, sure. I will definitely look into it next time. But I think Excalibur, I just tried to enable it, that button, but it can't do it in the middle of a live streaming. What happened? Oh, I went off the air for a second. I think because I changed to the stream option and tried to enable that button, and it can't be done while streaming is going on, so I'll do it next time. But I will still wait until I hear back from Humin, and then I will bid you guys good night, because it is now way over what we wanted to do. But I'm glad that we had a chance to at least address some of the questions here. Oh, hello, Sam. So I wonder what happened to Humin after all that respond. I want to see if he's got them or actually was able to hear them. So Humin, if you're there, drop me a line. We're close to say good night in a few minutes, but before that I want to see if you got my explanations or 2-bits point of view. And I also would like to know, Humin, where are you located? Yeah, Sam, we tried very hard to fix this by changing bit rates, but we figured out that many other people who have far superior equipment than I do and faster computers and so on, they're experiencing the same kind of lagging and all that. So it seems to me that, as some of them mentioned, it's a server's problem, not necessarily from our end, because we have reduced, we worked on it a little bit with Excalibur here. From the other end, he was giving me response how the system looks, and we reduced all the bit rates to nominal, and they still had the same thing. So we'll see. Okay, guys, looks like that I'm not getting any feedback from Humin. I hope he has received my comment, and I don't want to keep you guys any longer than that. Everybody's probably where they are. Just remind me where you guys tuning in from, and so at least I'll eventually remember how far we're talking to, whoever we're talking to. Oh, sure, Sam, I can answer your question as well before I go. Go ahead, of course. Okay, Sam, thank you for letting me know you're from Maryland. And don't forget your age. I keep forgetting who is who and how old. That will help me out. And of course, you are obviously, I can understand Sam is a boy's name, and the picture also shows clearly. But some whose picture is very small, and I don't know, I'm not familiar with the kind of names, then I would know if it's a man or a woman. It would help out. Let me know where you guys tuning in from, how old you are, and what is your gender. Okay, Sam, you're 21. Okay, from Maryland. Good. Okay, I'm listening, my friend. Okay, Sam. It's about a relationship from about 8 months ago. Okay, are you still together or is it broken up? You know what I would like to actually explore is if we could have a two-way a podcast in such a way that I could hear your everyone's voices, like a you could cue in and I could hear your questions, and it would be a little bit faster maybe. Maybe in the future, I guess once we fix this station, we can go to the next stage. Okay, Sam says it's about a relationship 8 months ago, and he continues, because she said I was not important to her. But you missed the point here. What do you mean because? Are you talking about that it's broken up or not? So go at the sequence so I can understand. So I know it's a relationship about a relationship from 8 months ago, and I asked, are you guys still together or have you broken up? So that I need to know if you guys still together or you have already separated. And then instead you said because she said I was not important to her. Okay. And then you say what hurts the most was her words that I was not someone that she wanted to invest in for the future. Okay, we'll get back to that. So then he says, it's okay time. I tried being friends with her. Sam says it's okay. Okay. We broke up because she said I was not important to her. I see. Okay. So I'm clear on what you're saying, and it hurts you because you say mostly because she said you're not someone that she wants to invest in for the future. Remember that sentence right here. We'll get to it. And you say we broke up because she said I was not important to her. And Sam continues, says, now I really want to move on. There is even someone else that I like, but I can't seem to get her out of my head. Okay? Let me know when you're done, then I'll start talking. So is that the extent of your question? Are we done now? So I guess it is. So let's, and then Sam says, the other thing is that she was someone that everyone, including my parents, did not want me to be with. Okay, that's good news. So, okay, now listen carefully. The problem here is not that she said you're not important, that you're not the kind of person she wants to invest in. The problem is that you think that it is important or should be important because it came from a girl whom you liked or you wanted to be intimate with or have been intimate with. You see, it's not about what she said, because what she said doesn't mean shit. Doesn't mean anything. Who the heck is she? That if she tells you she doesn't like you or doesn't want to invest in you or you're not important to her, what does that have to do with your importance if somebody, including her, telling you that you're not important? Who died and made her to be in charge of who's important, who's not? The problem is not what she said. The problem is that you think what she said it should be important. You think that she is important. You see, she is in control of something that you like and you want, and that's intimacy. Kissing her, holding her, hugging her, making love to her. It's not really that she is important to you. It's what you can feel and gain and benefit from being with her is what you think is important. The feeling that you get for the intimacy and kissing her and having a girlfriend or feeling whatever you're feeling is what makes her seem important to you. But herself, there's no importance to her. So really what makes her important is your ability to think of her as important. What makes her important and special is your ability to dub her special and important. It is you who gives her the importance, this speciality that you think she has on her own. It is your urges and your program to like a girl, to want sex, and to want to be with her that makes her seem that she is important, but she is not. Is your ability to want that. And since she is in control of that, what you want from her, then she seems important to you. It's like when you're lining up to buy ice cream and everybody is lining up and you're in the line, the closer you get to the ice cream person who's serving the ice cream, selling the ice cream, the more important the ice cream seller becomes, because he or she is in control of the ice cream, something that you want. You want the ice cream. You don't care about the ice cream man or the ice cream woman to be the wise of the wise or such a compassionate, a kind person in the world, helping everybody and curing people's problems. That's not why you think that person is important. It's because he or she, the ice cream person, is in control of the ice cream, which is what you want. That's what suddenly the ice cream seller seems to be an important person, important authority. Same thing with you. It's not that she is important, it's the fact that what you want is important to you, and what you want, which is the having a girlfriend and the sex and intimacy and the warmth and the relationship with the woman, she's in control of that. So when you understand that, then you understand that what she says means shit, means nothing. You're not a person that I want to invest in, so big deal, don't. Who are you? Who are you that your decision to choose who you choose or who you don't would make that person important or not important? But the fact that you think it's important what she feels about you because you want something that she's in control of. Well, that what you want from her that she's in control of is also available in millions of other women that are far superior in looks, in mentality, in manners, in kindness, in education, in wisdom, in quality, in class, and everything else. But when you're at that age, almost a moving tree makes you fall in love with her. That's all hormones. But close your eyes and then focus. Don't focus on what you want from her. Focus on her, who she is. What is her center? What is her consciousness? What is her ability to understand and cope with world, with life, and how she behaves in a relationship, how she holds you high and pays attention to you. If you focus on her rather than on her consciousness, her center, rather than on her, I don't know, physical attributes, then you will see, and rather than focusing on what you want from her, focusing on her, her consciousness, her center, her totality, and how she is, then you will get to know, wow, I really don't care about this girl. I just want what makes me feel good. And that what makes you feel good, you can get it from lots of millions of other women in higher quality and better relationships. The fact that you say that yet I choose her over everyone else is exactly what I said, because she's probably the only one you've had sex with, or the only girlfriend, or the girlfriend that was maybe seemed better than the others, or played with your head thinking of herself so important that made you feel like, oh, if she's so important, then I will be important if I can have that important person. But these are all the credentials that she has given to herself and made you believe it. Otherwise, she's nobody in the world. What has she done? Has she cured a common cold? Or is she going around helping all the children around the world? Bringing food for them? Solving people's problems? What is she doing? Other than the fact that she is a female that you like, and at your age, as I said, a walking tree, you would want to, get to know the tree because that's how your hormones work. Other than that, she's nothing special, because you have bought into the bill that she has sold you, that she's so high up, because your hormones and your interest in her sexuality and intimacy doesn't allow you to see her. You only give value to her so high up because of the desire that you have for what a boy at your age is actually focused on. And that's why you think she's important, and you have bought into that premise that she's important. Therefore, you desire her more, because everybody wants to be more, and you think you will be more by having this girl that you think she's more and important and more than you. But you could change that, your focus on what you get from this person and how she's played with your head, sold the idea that she's better than you, and you're running after her because of you see a possibility of getting that what every boy at this age wants from a woman. And then you will notice that you're following and falling in love or lust with this girl, not because of how she is and who she is and how wonderful she is, because of your natural abilities to want to be with a female. And that's it. When you get over that, everything will look clear as what your parents and everybody else sees it, which obviously she's not qualified, because, and you're not qualified to know what the hell you want at this age anyhow. So what business do you have to think that you will choose her over everybody else? Yeah, you will choose her over everybody else because there is nobody else lined up that you would be hot for right now. But tomorrow you'll see somebody else and she will pay attention to you, and suddenly this one is a history. So don't take it too seriously. She's nobody. He says we didn't have sex. Well, that's probably why you're still running after her, because you're still hoping that, oh, I got the first base, I got to know a girl, and then that's a beginning of getting to know her better, and eventually maybe it leads to kissing her, or maybe it leads to sex, and you've never had this before. So that whole idea of having sex or intimacy and any kind of it, it's so precious to you and so important to you that you think she is important to you. So cool it, let her go. If she thinks you're not good enough to invest in her future, just turn your back and go and find so many qualified girls who would appreciate you and have proper manners, that even if they didn't like you, they wouldn't talk like this. So this girl is too full of herself at that age. Let her go. And he says, I just thought she was the one because we shared a lot in common. Yeah, at this age you will share a lot, and you will find a lot in common with everybody. But who are they? They're just kids to grown up. They still don't know who they are. And maybe just because you like the same movie, you like the same food, that doesn't mean that you guys really have the same consciousness and understand each other's on a consciousness level. It just means you like certain things that most other people may find common and they like it. So you will have the same kind of a common interest in millions of other girls if you actually get to know them. It's not something special. The real bonding takes place if you really get to know about each other's consciousness, which you are getting to know When the girl tells you that, oh, you're not the kind of person that I would be interested in, you know, she's full of herself at this age. She doesn't even know who she is, but suddenly she knows exactly you are not the kind of boy that you want. What does she want at this age? She wants a millionaire with a Ferrari to come and pick her up. That's the mentality, and then in the hell with that. Because you want a normal girl at this age, a girl that you can communicate with, you can go to a movie, you can go to sporting events, you can do homework together, you can talk, you can hang out, you can go to, you know, dinner, or, you know, talk about students, schools and stuff like that, normal things. But if she's already, you know, thinking about whatever she's thinking, then she's playing this game which many girls are expert in, and you should avoid that kind of girl. So rest assured that you haven't missed much, and you'll be lucky that, you know, you found out about this behavior now than a little bit later on, and you're young, and go and get to know new friends and socialize and be as normal as you are, and don't even think for a second what she says means anything or has any value in anywhere in the world about you and your value, just because she doesn't like you or she doesn't think you're the kind of person that she wants to invest time in you. That doesn't change any value on you. It's not a reflection on you what she says, it's a reflection on her, and that's her taste or her value. So she can go find somebody else, and you can go find someone better who can appreciate you and your qualities. That's all. Go on with your life and enjoy. She's nobody to make such comments or judgments, and if she does, she has the right to do it, but for her own end. But it shouldn't change anything in your mind about yourself, because she has no authority, and nobody died and left her in charge of giving value to other people. Your value is in you, within you, and your value, you take it and go to someone who can understand and appreciate high value of yours and would welcome it to get to know you. The one who doesn't, it means she can't understand. Not that you don't have the value, not that you don't have a high value. It's just that she's not trained to see the value in that. If somebody looks at the diamond and says, oh, you know, doesn't seem value, that doesn't take anything away from the diamond. Diamond is still diamond. That person cannot see the value in it. So that person got to go and get educated and see what diamond is. That's it. Not the diamond. And you are the diamond. Go on. Go on and enjoy your life and explore new friendships with more qualified people. Now, Excalibur says, Mehran, are you a car fan? If so, do you love them more than horses? Lol. No. When I was much younger, I was, of course, a car fan. You know, there was a magazine called Hot Rod, and all these, a car called Joker, and all these racing cars. And of course, I would tell myself, oh, someday I'll have this, or someday I'll have that. And, you know, in university was different time. We would find some old car and fix it up and so on as much as we could. We didn't have much money, and so with whatever we could, we would choose the best car we could have. And also, of course, I would follow the cars at the time, you know, Ferrari or Lamborghini. All these were dream cars. But the older I got, the lesser I was paying attention to cars and more about my family, and of course, you know, how we were growing up and different challenges of life and so on. It replaced the focus on the car. But horses is so different thing for me. I still love to have horses, but you know, once you connect with horses, it's just, there is no way you can forget that connection. So that's my answer. So guys, this is now 1 hour and 45, almost 41, 42, 40, almost 42 minutes. I think we have covered everybody's question, and I'm thanking for you guys to spend some time with me, and thank you X and everybody who helped me with the figuring out the system a little bit better. And we still have a ways to go to make this live streaming, you know, flow smoother, flawless. And until then, I would like to ask you guys, take good care of yourself and to the others. I look forward to talk to you soon, and again, have a wonderful evening And thank you for being here with me for the past hour and so. Good night, all.